Now, children, we come to email. But before we proceed, you must understand the difference between a notice, an email, and a letter. Basically, in a notice, all the details must be visible at a single glance. It should be short, crisp, and precise. The email is slightly longer, providing details, precise details again, but without any extra or excess information. Letter is even more detailed, so it's even longer than an email. The shortest being the notice, then email, and then the letter. Email is shortened to the point, giving only the detail that the receiver needs to know. A letter is more elaborate than an email. Now, when you are going to get your question paper, you will see that notice and emails are always connected. So previously, we had discussed about this debate competition, inter-school debate competition, war of words, and now we can see that you have to write an email to the principal of a neighboring school, and it requests her to send participants for the debate competition that your school is organizing. Though it does not, however, specifically instruct you to tell about the date, place, time, etc., but you must incorporate them in the email. You must. It does not need to be printed in your question paper to make you remember that yes, I have to write the date, place, time, etc. It should be there ingrained in your mind that whether it's instructed in the question or not, I have to write it. You know it has to be there in the email, whether asked or not. The first half mark is for the person to whom you are addressing the email. You can see that here it says principal bluebellschool@gmail.com. Now, if you have to invite the principal or any other official, please use the person's official ID, not the person's personal email ID, even if you happen to know it. Now, for example, if you are talking about the principal of a particular school, there is one standing ID which is circulated to a great extent. For schools like ours, it is circulated even internationally, that this is the ID of the principal. But now you must understand that since the time of Seth M.R. Jaipuria's inception, Promini ma'am had not been the principal. She had not been the principal from day one. There was some principal who retired, then another principal, then another, and this happens with all the schools. Specific individuals, they come, occupy the seat of being the principal, they retire, and then there is someone else. But so when the person in the post is changing, he or she cannot use his or her personal ID because it is the ID of the post. The post of the principal of a particular school remains the post, irrespective of the person who is occupying the chair. So you will not write, suppose we are talking about our own principal, you will not give Promini ma'am's personal email ID, whatever it is, but her official ID, that is principal@jaipuria.com. As for the specimen, here it's given principalbluebellschool@gmail.com. Yes, you can see this is half mark. So if you are giving any other fancy ID, you are going to lose that half mark. The next thing is inter-school debate competition. But writing only this much won't fetch you any marks. Please remember that before this, the word invite must be prefixed. So you have to write that this is an invitation. Whatever the topic is asking you to do, it must be clearly written in the subject line. It also carries half a mark. So you write invitation to participate in the inter-school debate competition. I will share this specimen with you, so do not worry about that. It will be there. So invitation to take part in the competition, inter-school debate competition. You must, this is done in order to specify that what is the person supposed to do. Inter-school debate competition doesn't make any sense, right? So you have to write that invitation to participate in the inter-school debate competition. Then comes dear sir or dear madam, whatever, the salutation remains the same as in a letter, but please do not write ma'am, M-A''am, that is informal. It should be the full form of the word, M-A-D-A-M. The opening sentence and closing sentence have half mark each. So you write a topical sentence where the word invitation must mandatorily be included. So here we have written that on the occasion of the 50th anniversary of our school, we invite you to participate in the inter-school debate competition, War of Words. So the title also, War of Words, is included, and it is the second subtitle, the inter-school debate competition, that is also included in the opening sentence. If you remember, the first one was the person to whom you are addressing, and the second one is the subtitle. If you go back to the notice, think of the notice. War of Words was the title, and the second subtitle was inter-school debate competition. All of that is incorporated in the opening sentence. The word invite or invitation, that you are extending an invitation, is there in the form of invite. The subtopic, that is inter-school debate competition, that is there in the opening sentence. And what is the name, the title, the creative title that you have given, even that is there, the War of Words. Now, in the next part, you will provide the remaining details, and before that you can also see that the date, time, everything that was there in the previous notice, that is also included. 8th December 2017 from 9 a.m. till 12 noon, that is all there, the date, time, etc. So after that, you provide the remaining details, that for instance, they need to send the debate team to participate in the event, and there are some details which need not be furnished in the body of the email. For here you have written, here the specimen says that please do send your senior debate team to participate in the event. All right. The topic will be given to the participants an hour before the start of the competition. They may bring their laptops for use during the preparation time. All right. But some other details are there which need not be furnished. We all know, see, that when there is an event going on, you have participated in events like Crescendo, Elixir, etc. You have seen that we always prepare a brochure where in-depth detail about each and every competition is given. If you remember, those of you who took part in dance, in music, in poetry, in creative writing, we culled out that portion and sent it to you over WhatsApp. So there's an in-depth brochure, and when you are sending the brochure as well, you do not need to talk about all these things which are provided in that brochure in a very elaborate form. So if you are attaching the brochure, such details may be omitted, and the length of the email is not unnecessarily increased. For example, how many participants? In a debate, 2 people will speak for and 2 people will speak against. Then the procedure, like after the completion of the first 1 minute, there'll be a bell. All these things need not be written because they're all in the brochure and you're sending the brochure. So you must be very careful about this, as the body of the email, as you can see, also contains 2 marks. Writing unnecessary details make you lose the marks rather than score it. come to the last line or the concluding sentence, it is also very similar to the formal letter. For example, we look forward to your school's participation. If you have invited a chief guest, you can write that we look forward to your benign presence, BENIGN, presence. Some children, tend to write, please send us a reply, please confirm your participation, tell us whether you will be participating. Now, don't do that. It sounds very rude. You need to be very polite even as you're writing, because you are representing your school, and you can just be very polite and finish your email by writing that we look forward to your school's participation. Because naturally, if it goes to a principal and he or she feels that his or her school is not going to participate or will not be able to participate, they will simply or surely revert to your email by saying that they won't be able to participate, and they will also give you a reason why so. So please do not demand this. Don't have a demanding tone that tell us or specify while you're signing off. So the conclusion has to be very polite and formal, and it also carries half mark. The last line you will see, there are 4 to 5 aspects. Now you have to get all of them correct in order to score that half mark. Even if you get one of them wrong, you are losing that half mark. So the thanking you is very much similar to the formal letter, though it's not mandatory in a formal letter, but here in the email it is a must. As you can see, thanking you, T is capital and Y is in small letter. So thanking space you, comma. Next line, yours faithfully. Again, just like a formal letter, Y capital, faithfully, F small, and again followed by a comma. Look at the Y. This is how you're going to write a Y, a small V with a small line beneath it. Not one slanting line and another slanting line. The way we write Y, no fancy Ys. This is the way you are going to write the Y. And then you write your full name. Since it's an official thing, it's a formal thing that you're writing, you write your full name followed by your designation. Designation is very, very important because it shows that in what capacity you are the one chosen from your school to represent your school and write the email. It indicates your authority. Since in this particular instance, it is a debate competition, this person, Ashish Roy, is a debating secretary. Note that D of debating is capital, S of secretary is capital, and it is followed by a comma. And under this, lastly, you write the name of your school, the school which you belong to. In this case, say it M.R. Jaipuria School. So with this, we conclude the notice and email.